how did you feel going into this match? Did you know really what you were getting into?
Listen, like I've heard about Nick Gage. I've never seen a full Nick Gage match, but of course I've seen clips. I tried watching the Dark Side of the Ring. I couldn't get through it because it was too gory and disgusting. So like I knew, okay, I'm going to bleed in this match. It's gonna happen. There's gonna be light tubes. That's why I wore all white. I did not think my white shirt would turn red. I didn't think it would be completely red with no signs of white. I did not realize there would be pizza cutters or glass. Maybe I should have done more research. But it was intense. It was crazy, and I love it. It was such an adrenaline rush. I felt like I really got to be me out there, and the response from the people, like they absolutely hated me, and I loved that. I loved it. Was it scary that some people were throwing pizza cutters at me after the match? Like I think that's crossing the line a bit.
Yeah.
Throw a bottle at me, throw a beer, a soda, cool. But a pizza cutter?
A can. A bottle's a lot. A can
Okay,
is different. A can, fine, not a
pizza
bottle.
cutter though, Renee. A pizza cutter.
That's nuts.
That's too much.
Yeah, like what were you thinking when that happened? I mean, that was like a big sort of uproar on the internet about people saying there was plants in the crowd.
If I'll say this right now, if there was a plant and you want to expose yourself, I will give you $1,000 in cash, and then I will punch you in the face. Okay. If there's a plant, come clean. I'll give you $1,000. There was no plant. And if there was, I don't know about it. And I'd love to punch you in the face if there was. But my celebration got ruined because in my mind, I thought, okay, if I win, I have this sponsorship with Pabst Blue Ribbon, major PBR.
PBR, baby.
That's right. So I'm like, if I win this, how great would it be if I have a couple PBRs and cheers and toast? So I told some people, hey, if I win this, slide in some PBRs. I didn't even get to do that because they're legitimately throwing things at me and I'm like covering up. It was pretty scary. And the GCW, I guess, security, like, bro, we got to get out of here. Go out the front, run out the front. I was like, okay, if they're scared, then I'm scared.
100%. I mean, you dethroned their king.
That's right.
That was such a huge moment. I mean, would you have ever imagined during your time in WWE and being Zack Ryder to now not being in WWE, doing your own thing, that this would have been the pivot that you took in your career and now having what can be this whole new life in your career?
Yeah, no, I definitely would not have imagined it. And this kind of just fell into place. It fell into my lap and the opportunity was there. And at first I thought it was kind of like a joke. I don't know, like if fans started tweeting it or Nick Gage started tweeting me.
Everyone kind of thought that it was at first. I was like, wait, for real?
And I was playing along with it too. I just thought it was a joke. I'm like, yeah, sure. MDK, but I turned it into major Detolf collectors. A Detolf is this thing from IKEA that people put toys in. I'm like, yeah, I'm in. But then it turned into this. It escalated. And it's been a lot of fun. But I was very scared going into the match. 100, like right before I went through the curtain, I'm like, are they going to try to kill me in here and like get some like legitimately kill me, like murder me in the ring? And it's like trending forever at GCW kills Matt Cardona. Like I wasn't sure.
I don't think anyone was sure. I mean, John and I were watching it from home and it was just like, just to see something like that and to see that reaction. I mean, as a wrestler and as a wrestling fan, that's what you want.
Oh yeah.
But damn, that's horrifying. What was the worst part for you looking at a death match, as far as like the light tubes, the glass, like the pizza cutter?
I told myself going into this, like, okay, light tubes, whatever I'll do, chairs, whatever. I'm like, I'm not doing that pizza cutter bullshit. I'm not doing glass. But when you're in there with Nick Gage, you're going to do what he wants you to do. You don't really have a choice. So I went through glass, I got the pizza cutter, and I superplexed him through this glass pane. And like, yeah, it hurt. I went through glass, but the referee was like, do you want to continue? Like legitimately, do you want to continue? Your arm is really, really bad. Your shoulder's like gushing blood. I'm like he was scaring me.
Yeah.
I was like, if this referee is scared for me, then I'm scared.
It must be hard to evaluate, how bad the damage is when you're relying on somebody else to kind of clue you into just how bad you're bleeding. If you're bleeding from somewhere you should not be bleeding from, especially with someone like Nick Gage, who died for 8 minutes doing a match like this. Like that's really scary stuff to be able to feel that out as you're going.
Yeah. And like I said, I knew I was going to bleed. That's why I wore the all white. I thought I'd have a couple like trickles of blood. I didn't realize it'd be covered. So I couldn't tell where the blood was really coming from, So when this referee is telling me that my arm is like really sliced up, but I've seen pictures afterwards, it doesn't even look like blood's coming out. It's like ooze is coming out.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my God, like that's when I got scared.
So it's been what, just over a week now for
Just over
you?
a week. Yeah.
Just over a week.
Yeah.
How's the healing going?
It's not too bad. I don't know if I can show you. Like
Oh yeah.
it's okay.
Oh,
Like
the bruises, the gnarliest part. Those
yeah.
bruises are terrible.
I just started going to the gym a couple days ago. I tried going and I was like, how am I going to do pull-ups with this, you know? And then today someone pulled me aside the gym because, you know, I'm wearing like a broski cut shirt to show up the muscles. I
Of
can't wear
course.
sleeves to the gym. And he's like, oh,
No.
what happened to you? I'm like, oh, it was a wrestling match. He's like, he thought it was like collegiate wrestling. He's like, oh, did the person not cut their nails? I'm like, no, I went through glass. So that was a little awkward.
Not cut their
Yeah.
nails. You're like, yeah, well, something else happened. For you, the reaction online, the fact that you guys were trending #1 in the US over the Olympics and over UFC,
Yeah.
that's huge. I mean, you are the internet
That's right. I was
champion,
about to say,
obviously. Still,
then, now, forever. But
yes.
listen, I'm not gonna lie, it was cool. And I didn't sleep that whole night. I had an early flight, and then like my doctor John Carlo was attending to me, so I didn't sleep. So like I had like an extra hour that I got to the airport. I'm like, I'm not gonna sleep in my car right now. I'll just go to the airport an hour earlier. And I was just going through my Twitter, and I couldn't even make it through all the tweets in an hour. Like
Wow.
I just had to give up. So if you
Yeah.
tweeted me, thank you very much. I
Can
missed
only
it.
keep up with so
I
much.
missed it.
Uh, Looking at what Nick Gage has done now in his match on AEW with Chris Jericho, what do you think about seeing a match like that on mainstream television?
I think there's room for anything. You know, I respected Nick Gage before the match, certainly now, not just because of like the violence, not just because he died in the ring, because he's made a name for himself again. And I saw firsthand like the love and respect that his fans give him. And
Mhm.
like that can't, you know, be no writer can write that, you know, that can't be manufactured. That's real. And he has this loyal, diehard fan base. And like, is deathmatch wrestling my favorite style of wrestling? No, it's not even. It's not. It's probably my
You're
least.
their king
Yeah, I
now.
am their king, but and that's what they hate about me. But it's probably my least favorite style of wrestling. But who am I to say that it's not correct or it's not acceptable? I think there's room for anything, and I think the ratings prove that. I'm pretty sure the ratings for Jericho Gage were through the roof.
Yeah.
And then me and Gage were #1 over the UFC and the Olympics. So that kind of speaks for itself.
It's money. Yeah, I mean, as I say, what is it? Red in the face, green in the pocket?
Something like that. That's right.
Something like that. Yeah, it's just it's really cool to see, and to see someone like Nick Gage with the cult following that he has, to see how that will translate onto a bigger stage. I mean, I feel like people are probably very protective of him, and they feel like he is their like I
Sure.
mean, they're
Right.
obsessed with him. But to have him move on to that bigger stage, I hopefully they'll be into it and not want to like revolt against like the big machine.
Right. Right. I hope they don't say like you sold out or anything like that. You know, let him
Come
have his
on.
moment. You know, let him make
Let
some
the man
money.
make some money. Totally.
Yeah.
Let him get paid.